quite exciting that it could be the so-called flood tunnel booby trap system. Of course, we're going to investigate.
History textbooks insist that the Romans never reached North America, but a major leak from the Curse of Oak Island Season 13 may have just blown that belief apart. During a quiet off-season scan in the garden shaft, the team reportedly uncovered something that completely defies expectations. What they detected wasn't wood, and it wasn't natural stone. It was a man-made chamber, lined with a very specific ancient metal alloy. This wasn't just another empty cavity underground. The data showed 3 dense, rectangular objects resting inside. In other words, the Lagina brothers may not have found just a treasure vault. They may have uncovered a time capsule capable of rewriting history. If there's anything truly significant hidden in the garden shaft, this could be it. That's why the idea of running metal detection and further scans became unavoidable. What happened next on Oak Island was never meant to be public, at least not yet. But the information leaked, and now the entire direction of Season 13 appears to have shifted. This wasn't another rusty nail or ox shoe. According to the leak, preliminary sonar scans produced results so clean and precise that the team initially thought the equipment was malfunctioning. They ran the scan 3 separate times to confirm it. Each time, the image came back the same. Not a natural void, but a perfectly rectangular, man-made chamber. The size alone is staggering, roughly 10 feet wide and 15 feet long, buried more than 140 feet underground. To put that into perspective, it's like placing a one-car garage beneath a 14-story building. The engineering required to construct something like this centuries ago, without modern machinery, steel reinforcement, or hydraulics, is almost impossible to comprehend. It suggests a level of sophistication far beyond what pirates or simple treasure barriers could achieve. Even more astonishing, the sonar didn't show an empty room. Inside the chamber were at least 3 large, dense, rectangular objects sitting on the floor. The density readings match what you would expect from heavy chests, possibly filled with gold, silver, or ancient manuscripts. But the most shocking detail wasn't the contents. It was the chamber itself. The scans revealed a thin metallic layer coating the entire interior. This metal lining appears to be the reason the chamber has survived intact. It's completely watertight. While much of the money pit system collapsed and flooded over the centuries, this room remained dry. Core samples taken from soil directly beside the chamber walls confirmed trace elements of a specific alloy. The lab results backed up the sonar data. This wasn't just a hole in the ground. It was essentially a pressurized underground vault built hundreds of years ago. At this point, the question is no longer whether there's treasure. The real mystery is how something like this was even built. The discovery of a sealed, metal-lined room completely changes the rules of the hunt. For decades, water has been the team's greatest enemy. Flood tunnels were designed to drown anyone who dug too deep. But if this chamber is fully sealed in metal, those flood tunnels may have been deliberately engineered to protect it rather than destroy it. The builders clearly wanted to keep water away from this specific space at all costs. That tells us something important about what might be inside. Gold and silver don't care about moisture, but paper, parchment, bones, or organic relics do. This strongly suggests that the treasure may not just be wealth. It could be information, knowledge, history. The extreme measures taken to protect this chamber are unlike anything seen in over 200 years of searching. The garden shaft has gone from just another point of interest to the absolute center of the entire mystery. And that metal lining points toward an ancient power long thought lost. This is where things get truly unbelievable. Preliminary analysis of the trace metals in the chamber lining reportedly revealed a lead-silver alloy, a result no one expected. To most people, that might not sound important. But to historians, it's a massive red flag. That specific alloy was a signature of advanced Roman engineering. It was used to line aqueducts, seal critical documents, create protective casings, and most notably, line the sarcophagi of high-ranking Roman officials to preserve them. Producing it was incredibly expensive and required advanced smelting techniques and precise chemical knowledge. Its use signaled immense wealth and imperial authority. This discovery suddenly reframes some of Oak Island's most controversial finds. The Roman pilum head discovered in earlier seasons. The ancient coin, some experts dated back to the Roman Empire. At the time, skeptics brushed them off as collector items or lost souvenirs. But a massive underground chamber lined with tons of Roman-era alloy isn't something you accidentally drop or bring along for fun. Mainstream history insists the Romans never crossed the Atlantic. Their world was centered on Europe and the Mediterranean. But evidence like this suggests a very different possibility, one involving people who possessed Roman-level knowledge and technology. One leading theory is that this wasn't built by Romans themselves, but by those who inherited their secrets, the Knights Templar. After the fall of the Roman Empire, much of its engineering knowledge was preserved by the Church and later guarded by the Templars. These were people obsessed with sacred relics, ancient power, and preservation. If the Templars fled Europe carrying their most important treasures, they would have used the most advanced preservation technology available at the time. A vault lined with lead-silver alloy is exactly what you would build if you wanted to hide something like the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, or forbidden historical records, and ensure they survived untouched for 1,000 years. What many people don't realize is that this alloy has antimicrobial properties. It prevents rot and decay. That means the builders weren't just hiding something, they were preserving it. This strongly suggests organic material. Could it be the remains of a saint, fragments of the true cross, or even lost manuscripts from the Library of Alexandria? The use of this specific metal was intentional. It connects Oak Island to the ancient world in a way pirate gold never could. And if the presence of this alloy is confirmed, it instantly rewrites history. It would prove that advanced mining and metallurgy existed in Nova Scotia centuries before Canada was ever colonized. At that point, the Oak Island mystery stops being a local legend and becomes a global historical event. The team may now be dealing with artifacts that are older than the nation they're standing in. Romans left a technological fingerprint that no pirate could ever imitate. This brings us to the offset chamber. Here's what you need to understand about the Knights Templar and ancient engineers. They were masters of finance, logistics, and most importantly, deception. Their greatest secrets were protected by layers of symbols, codes, and deliberate misdirection. So what if the money pit itself was the ultimate trick? What if the place people have been digging for over 200 years was never meant to hold the real treasure? The latest sonar data suggests the Roman-style chamber isn't located at the original money pit at all. Instead, it sits a significant distance away. Even more intriguing, this location lines up perfectly with a previously unnoticed geometric point within Nolan's cross. It's hidden in plain sight. Nolan's cross is made up of massive boulders, and for years, people assumed it pointed directly to the money pit. But new geometric analysis suggests something very different. The cross may actually be a warning sign telling diggers to stay away from the money pit, while subtly directing attention toward this new location. This has sparked a bold new theory among the team. The chamber is the real vault. The money pit was a sacrificial decoy. Think about it. Why would anyone bury their true treasure in a shaft that floods every time someone digs past 90 feet? The flood tunnels, coconut fiber filters, and collapse zones form a system designed to fail. It's not storage, it's a trap. If you're hiding something valuable and expect to retrieve it later, you don't place it in a self-destructing hole. You build the trap nearby to distract thieves. And for more than 2 centuries, that strategy worked perfectly. Searchers poured millions of dollars into the money pit. 6 people lost their lives digging in the wrong place. They fell for the deception, collapsing shafts and churning the ground into chaos. Meanwhile, just 50 yards away, a sealed, lead-lined chamber sat untouched and silent. It's the ultimate misdirection. What makes it even more compelling is that this chamber's location aligns with the head of Nolan's cross. In sacred geometry, the head is where knowledge and wisdom are stored. If the money pit represents the body absorbing all the physical punishment, then the head is where the secrets remain protected. This explains why the team keeps finding broken wood, pottery, and small artifacts in the money pit, but never the main hoard. They weren't digging into the vault. They were digging through the trash chute. This also aligns with the idea of a ritual antechamber. In ancient tombs, builders often created a fake room filled with minor treasures to satisfy grave robbers. Once looted, the robbers would leave, never realizing the true burial chamber was hidden behind a false wall. The money pit contained just enough clues, gold chain links, scraps of parchment, to keep people digging forever, ensuring they never searched where the sonar recently detected the chamber. The real treasure map wasn't written on paper. It was carved into the landscape itself using massive boulders. Here's something the show rarely talks about. The Fellowship of the Dig isn't limited to the people wearing safety vests on screen. For more than a decade, a massive unseen force has been working on this mystery, the fans. While everyone focuses on the war room shown on TV, the real war room exists online. Theories once dismissed as wild speculation on forums and social media are now starting to look eerily accurate. For every shovel of dirt moved on Oak Island, thousands of digital investigators analyze footage frame by frame. These aren't passive viewers, they're researchers. Many are using tools that rival the show's own resources, including publicly available LiDAR data and satellite imagery, to identify subtle ground depressions invisible to the naked eye. They overlay historic maps onto modern geological surveys with astonishing accuracy. They dig through digitized 17th century shipping logs that even academics rarely access. And here's the wild part. Remember the French line theory connecting Nolan's cross to European landmarks? That didn't come from the show. It was born during late-night fan debates online. These aren't casual viewers. They form a global intelligence network crowdsourcing solutions to the world's greatest treasure hunt. According to sources close to the production, the show's research team actively monitors these online communities. That means the next major revelation you see on television could trace its origins back to a forum post by a retired engineer or hobby historian. This creates a strange feedback loop. The producers are mining fan theories for leads, and in many cases, the fans are ahead of them. Fans were the first to connect the dots on the lead silver alloy. Before the episode even aired, online forums were already buzzing about Roman preservation techniques based on leaked images of drill cores. Viewers identified links to the Knights of Malta and the Rosicrucians long before those ideas became central to the show. Most people don't realize it, but this has completely changed the dynamic of the hunt. This is no longer just a television show. It has become an interactive investigation. Fans feel a real sense of ownership, and because of that, they hold the team accountable. When a clue is overlooked, the internet reacts instantly. That pressure is likely what pushed the team to stop focusing solely on the money pit and begin scanning the surrounding areas, ultimately leading to the discovery of this new chamber. In many ways, the crowd helped point the direction. The combined brainpower of millions of viewers is more powerful than any single archaeologist. Fans have uncovered geometric patterns linking Oak Island to places like the Palace of Versailles. They've cracked codes that once defeated military analysts. If this mystery is finally solved in season 13, it may be because a quiet, relentless army of viewers refused to let the case go cold. So, what do you think? Does the lead silver lining prove the Romans really made it to Oak Island? Or is it just another layer of Templar misdirection hiding the true vault elsewhere? And if the chamber is opened, will the public even be allowed to see what's inside? Share your theory in the comments. Please subscribe to the Timefold channel, and don't forget to like the video.